Hi, so I thought I would just try to real quickly share my birth experience. So, this is my first baby. She's 4 months now. When I was pregnant, I love watching all the YouTube videos of people sharing their experiences and watching birthing videos as well. I feel like that really helped me have confidence that I would be able to do it. I got to see other people struggle and how they made it through and just the joy at the end of the struggle. It helped me. So I thought I'd share my story and hopefully it'll be helpful to any other first time moms. So I chose to use a midwife. Um, I had a lot of friends growing up that actually used the same midwife that I used, and they loved her. And um, I just always had it in my head that I would use a midwife and do it naturally. And so I got to use her, and I got to have a natural birth, and thankfully nothing went wrong, and I was able to have my baby naturally. Now, I did plan to have her in the water, and that didn't work out, but anyways, so I'll tell you how it all started, and then, yeah, so it was Tuesday night, and I thought I was having Braxton Hicks because my belly was really tight, but I was also having some lower back pain. So pain is not normal. I didn't feel pain with Braxton Hicks throughout my pregnancy, just, uncomfortable and tight. So I knew something was up, and I was praying, God, let me know if this is it, if this is real. Wednesday morning, I went to work, and I was having pain off and on, but it didn't seem regular. And then I started timing it, and it wasn't really like regular until the afternoon, and then it was like 8 minutes. My contractions were like 8 minutes apart, or seven, and it started out with pain in my lower back and just like my belly felt really tight, and I just kept timing it, and I texted my actually I didn't text my midwife until I went to the bathroom at work, and when I wiped there was blood, and I I knew about losing your mucus plug, but I didn't know that I would bleed like that. So I texted her, and she told me that's what it was, and just to keep her updated. And I decided to go to my mom's house after work because I live 40 minutes from the midwife center, and my mom lives a lot closer, and I wanted to be with someone. I thought my mom could time for me. Oh, I went to my mom's, and I laid down in the bed wanting to take a nap because I didn't really get any sleep Tuesday night, uh, just because I was so uncomfortable. So I thought I would take a nap, but as soon as I laid down, my contractions were like 2 or 3 minutes apart, and I freaked out, and I called my husband, and I was like, "Please come, please get off work early and come here." So he did, but when I sat back up, they went back to like 7 or 8 minutes apart. Or actually, I think they were 6 minutes apart then. I wasn't supposed to go into the midwife center until I was 4 minutes apart for at least an hour, and I was like 6 minutes apart then, and it stayed like that for a long time. But if I laid down, the pain was so much worse, and then if I sat up, it was bearable. My husband got off work. I really wanted to get adjusted by my chiropractor before I had my baby, just because I have a friend who had um, her sacrum was out, and when she got adjusted in the middle of her labor, that helped everything go a lot quicker. And I was just concerned that I don't know, I wanted to get adjusted before I had her, and I went to my chiropractor and got adjusted, even though I was having contractions in the middle of it. And then we actually went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant. It was like every 6 minutes I couldn't talk. I was just in so much pain. So the pain started in my lower back, and then it went to it was in my lower back, my lower abdomen, and the top of my thighs. I hear you either have one or the other. I ended up having all three at the same time. The contractions, I could not talk really when they were happening, and I felt like whoosh, just like really hot, and they were painful. So we ate dinner at the Mexican restaurant while I was having contractions, and then we went back to my parents' house. Decided to spend the night at my parents' house because they were closer, so we wouldn't have so far of a drive. I did not sleep at all. The pain kept getting worse, and they never got closer together. And I started throwing up from the pain. And I'm not really one to take medicine, but it was like, I need Tylenol, but I took a Tylenol and then I threw it up. And then, also, when I went to the bathroom, there was even more blood, and I took a picture of it and sent it to my midwife. I was like, is this normal? Because there was so much blood. And she said, yeah. So it was like 3 in the morning, and the pain was so bad, I could not sleep. So I called my midwife. I was like, the pain is so bad. Can I come in? And she said, yeah, you can come in and I'll check you. So we got there, I think a little bit before 4 a.m. And she checked me, and I was 4 centimeters dilated. And she said that she thought that the baby was not quite, was in the right position, head down, but wasn't quite right on my cervix. So she had me lay down on my right side on the bed. I told her I wouldn't lay down because the pain was so bad when I lay down. But she made me lay down on my right side for 2 contractions, my back for 2, my left side for 2, and my hands and knees for 2. And I did that. And when I was on my hands and knees, my water broke. I thought I peed myself, but my water broke. And then she checked me, and I was at an 8 after that. And then she started filling up the tub with water because I had hoped to have water birth. And I got in the tub, and it was shortly after. I don't know. I feel like it was a little after 6 a.m. or 6 a.m. when I got in the tub, and I finished dilating in the tub, and I started to push in the tub, and I tried so many things. I tried on my hands and knees, and on my back, and doing like a squat on my toes, and then holding my husband's hands like this and like pulling on him. I tried so many positions, and I was really struggling, I guess, to push correctly. So I had to get out, and they said they'd put me back in, but I ended up never going back in the tub. Also, I want to note, when I was having my contractions, I would make low sounds with my mouth closed, and that seemed to really help. I also played worship music, and I tried to sing when I could. And I feel like that was helpful for me to be able to manage the pain. And so I had to get out of the tub and try different positions. I tried so many things. I tried on the bed, on my back, but I tried with one foot on one midwife's shoulder, the other foot on another midwife's shoulder, and then my midwife in the middle. I was pulling a sheet, like doing tug of war and leaning up, trying to push like that. I can't even remember every position I tried to push in. I know I tried on my hands and my knees, on the bed, on the floor, on the toilet. Her head started coming out when I was doing a squat, like, on my toes and all the way down. That's when her head started coming out. And when her head started coming out, I started cussing. And it's not like me, but it hurt so bad. And it seemed, my husband said that once he saw her head, it took like an hour after that for her to come out all the way. Oh, I feel like it took me forever to push. I was like yanking on my midwife sitting behind me and pulling on her arms, and I tried on the birthing stool. And I will tell you that the pushing contractions, you have a lot, or I at least had a lot more time in between those contractions to recover and breathe and get ready for the next one. Now, when I was dilating, those contractions, are consistent. So God gives us a little grace to be able to have some time in between those pushing contractions, because that pushing is hard. And so I think I started pushing around 6 a.m. She came out at 12:09 p.m. and she came out, so her head started coming out when I was squatting, but my legs and my feet fell asleep, so I had to get on a birthing stool, and that's where she came all the way out. And they were like, grab your baby, and I did not feel like she was all the way out. They say that, oh, you forget all the pain when you see your baby. I didn't. I was still in pain, and I had to stand. I had my baby still connected, by the cord, and I had to stand up off the stool and get in the bed to deliver the placenta. That's something I feel like people don't think about. Once you have the baby, it's not all over. You have to deliver that placenta too. And then the midwife is sticking her hands in me, checking me out, pulling out a blood clot. Oh, it's not all over when the baby comes out. I was exhausted because I had 2 nights of no sleep. But after a while, and having her at the midwife center, they put her on. I got to grab her right away and have her on me for a very, very long time. Like, I feel like maybe an hour. They didn't cut the cord right away. My husband cut the cord. And I got to have her on me for a long time and have that bonding time and try to breastfeed her. And it was so special. And sang You Are My Sunshine to her, the first song that she heard outside the womb, that first song that I sang to her. And God saw me through. Every muscle in my body hurt for maybe 4 days, and I had blood clots, which is normal, but I still didn't expect it. I didn't think I would need Depends. Depends were my friend. I wore Depends for 2 weeks after, and they were so comfortable. So get Depends. Do it. You're going to be thankful you did if you have a normal vaginal birth. I remember I was on the toilet, and this is maybe an hour before I had her. I was like, I think I'll be okay with a C-section. And I asked my midwife, do you think I can do it? And she said, yes, I think you can. You're safe right now. Everything is normal and the baby's safe. So I'm thankful that she encouraged me, and I had talked to her before and told her, like, I do not want to go to the hospital unless I absolutely have to. But when you're in the middle of it and it's so painful, and you don't know what to expect, you're willing to do what you didn't want to do. So make sure you talk to your doctor and if everything is safe, get them to encourage you to push through, because the pain is really hard, but it's so worth it to give them that healthy, natural birth. If everything is okay, you can do it. It hurts like heck, but you can do it. God will see you through, and you'll heal up, and everything will be all right. And it's so worth it. So hopefully that's encouraging, and I'm sure I left things out, but that was my experience with my first baby, and we're hoping to try soon for another. And I will. It was so hard, but I will do it the same way. I will hopefully do it the same way naturally with my midwife.